Hello everyone, this is the Drill General. This is a channel that is basically made for drill. We are going to go through the standards of drill, from basic drill all the way to ceremonies, how to hoist the colors and everything. And so we'll go through every sequence step by step to enable you go through the standards and get it right. This is the Drill General. The purpose of this channel is to take ourselves step by step, lesson by lesson, through all the basic principles of drill and the standards of drill. Tell your instructor, tell your Pathfinder director, tell everyone who knows about drill and is interested in knowing all the principles of drill. The Drill General is here to stay, to take us through all the basic principles of drill. So all I need for you to do is to subscribe to this channel. I want you to like the channel and then send in your comments. Most importantly, the questions you want us to handle, you want us to answer, the questions that are bothering you since you became an instructor. Put them in the comment section and we will go through step by step. Explain everything, every principle behind why we do what we do on the square. Get ready for the first lesson of the day because we are ready to study. This is the Drill General, where we learn, we equip, and we match the standard frame. Our first lesson is for us to understand the basics of drill. So we are going to look at the aims of drill, qualities of a drill instructor, the guiding principles of drill. These are the first sessions we are going to look at. The reason is that as a drill instructor, you need to understand why we do drill. There are certain qualities that an instructor needs. Sometimes you might think that just standing on the square, giving the commands, then it makes you an instructor. No, there are certain qualities you need to possess that will help you to give quality instructions to your Pathfinders. And so the qualities of a drill instructor is very important. Then the guiding principles, because in drill, there are rules and regulations. There are standards you need to follow. And so you need to understand the guiding principles of drill so that when you are teaching, you'll be guided. Let's go into it. Now, I want to ask, do you know the aims of drill? I know by now you've been saying some, you are mentioning some of the aims that you know. But the principle is that there are three main aims. There are so many of them, but there are three main aims that makes us go through drill. The first is that we are going to go through drill to produce Pathfinders who are proud. The second is to produce Pathfinders who are alert. And finally, to produce Pathfinders who are obedient or disciplined. So we need to understand that these are the three main. Produce Pathfinders who are proud, who are alert, and who are disciplined. When you are proud of something, it means you believe in it. It means you understand it and you know how it works. And you can stand anywhere to defend it or work it out wherever and whenever the opportunity brings itself. That means you are proud of what you know. And so when we are producing Pathfinders who are proud, then we are saying that we are going to train Pathfinders to understand why we do drill. We are going to train Pathfinders to know that the purpose of drill is not just to stand on the square, do left and right and about 10, but rather to build ourselves for a purpose. Remember, the main aim is to send the message to the world. So through drill, we are equipping ourselves to believe in what we know and then get ourselves ready to send the message to the world. Producing Pathfinders who are proud means we are giving the Pathfinders what they can stand for, the discipline they can uphold, and that means they are proud. Wherever they are, wherever they stand, when you tell them to draw, they are able to draw. Wherever they are going to act according to the standards they've been given. And so to produce Pathfinders who are proud means we are giving them what they stand for and what they believe in. So it is not making them arrogant, but giving them the confidence of standing out amidst all others. Now, if we say we are producing Pathfinders who are alert, then it means they are very aware of their environment, things that are happening around them, things that should make them very ready for anything. Remember, in our Pathfinder law, we have keep a level eye. Make sure that wherever you are, you know all around you. I always tell my instructors that if you are a drill instructor, at least you should be able to see 45 degrees left and right when you are looking straight. You need to train yourself to be alert, so that wherever you are walking, even when something is happening behind you, you can feel the weight behind you and you can, if it is danger, you can run for your life. It is very, very important, and you can only get this through drill. And so when we train our Pathfinders, then we inculcate in them the power of being alert wherever they are. And even on the square, they are so alert that whenever the command comes, they know where they are turning to, they know what they are acting on. And so producing Pathfinders who are alert is very, very important. Then finally, to produce Pathfinders who are obedient or disciplined. That is the fundamental aim of drill. If your Pathfinder is alert, he's proud of what he knows, and he's not disciplined, it's still a waste of time. And so let the Pathfinders understand that the basics of discipline is following orders, allowing the regulations to be imbibed in you, and understanding that without those regulations, you cannot act. Then you know that you are being a Pathfinder. And so producing Pathfinders who are obedient and disciplined means that wherever they are, whatever they are asked to do, they act according to the principles and the standards. And that is why in our law, from beginning to the end, everything is about acting, doing your honest part, caring for your body, being courteous and obedient, walking softly in the sanctuary, all of those, and going on God's errands. If all these can work, then it means you are disciplined. It means that you are ready to act whenever and wherever the opportunity brings itself. And that is about discipline. Our main objective as Pathfinders and as drill instructors is to help train up foot drill instructors who are so much passionate. The words of command, the standard drill informations that come their way, and to bring dynamism in the youth today. These are the objectives. Aside the three main aims, you should also foster unity and teamwork. It's very, very important. If there is no teamwork amongst your Pathfinders, if you put Pathfinders together and they say, I don't want to work with this person, I don't want to stand here because this person is not my friend, then it means you are failing as a drill instructor. You need to build that spirit of teamwork in your Pathfinders so that they will always be ready to act no matter where they are or who they are working with. Because you should remember that as followers of Christ, we need to get our things together, work in sync as a unit, so that wherever we are, we can stand for Christ. And one objective is also to serve as a resource pool wherever we are, that anytime a Pathfinder club or a drill team or any group of people in the church needs an instructor to come and take them through the standards of drill, we will just point to that pool and say, you, this instructor, go to this club to train them. It's very, very important. And so taking ourselves through drill is very, very important so that we get one resource pool as instructors that we can go around to serve the ministry. you need to also understand that one objective is to endeavor to always work in harmony with our club that we are in, the district that we belong to, the conference that we are, even our union and the division that we belong to, so that the principles that they have given, we will be the conduit of transmission where every regulation the union, the division, the conference has given will be trained or will be given to our local clubs where we start to draw. Remember, on the square, it is yes, sir, no, sir. And so giving instructions become easy. You are allowed to ask questions as a pathfinder and explanations are given. And that is the only place that simple regulations, complex regulations are broken down such that everybody will understand and it will be obeyed as regulations by higher authority. And so going through drill as an instructor to equip yourself to stand in front of the pathfinder is very, very important. Without this, you can never ever be a good drill instructor. Remember, if you want to be an instructor and you don't have a motivation, you don't have a passion, you don't have something that drives you, to be very difficult for you to impact. Because when they start misbehaving, when they start annoying you, because you don't have the passion, you don't have the motivation, you don't have something pushing you or driving you, you'll be so angry that if you are not careful, you do something you will regret. And so you need a motivation. For me as an instructor, my motivation is from a book written by a very renowned writer who has written so many books and is regarded as one of the best writers of the world. She has a book called Education in page 57, and it says that the greatest want of the world is the want of men who will not be bought or sold, men who in their inmost souls are true and honest, men who do not fear to call sin by its right name, men whose conscience are true to duty as a needle to the pole, and men who stand for the right even when heaven falls. This is my motivation. And so when I stand in front of my pathfinders, I know I am building discipline, I'm building confidence, I'm building honesty. I'm telling them that wherever they are, they should stand for the right. And so when my pathfinders move anywhere, they are able to stand for the right. They are disciplined, they are obedient to instructions, and they work in harmony because this is my driving force. So I would urge you as an instructor to get something that motivates you to stand in front of the children every day and to train them. And next, I want you to understand is that as a drill instructor, there are certain qualities you need to possess. The first of all is your personality. It is your personality. Whenever you are standing in front of the pathfinders, I always say you have to be impeccably turned out. As a drill instructor, you need to understand that you are the first mentor of the pathfinders. And so when you are coming to the square, dress as you want them to dress. Your personality should be standard and unique. Don't dress anyhow, talk anyhow, do things as if you want the pathfinders to know that you are the most friendly instructor in the world. No. The moment you go down so low, they will take you to be a joke, not a serious instructor. Take it from me, this is from experience. Your personality is very, very important. When it's time for programs, that is not the time you are going to put a lot of things in your uniform to look like a caricature for everybody to see that, yeah, he has come. No. Dress modestly Wherever you need to put whatever you need to put it as such. Go according to the regulation of the uniform policy of your division, your union, or your conference. Very, very important, so that you don't dress as if you are the only person who has all the things of the world. No. Whatever you do, Pathfinders will learn from you. Remember, that is why the pin trading jacket is there, where you can put all the pins and other things you have in there. So when it's time for pin trade, you wear that jacket for everybody to know that this is what you've been able to trade. But for your uniform, as it has been stated, dress aside. If you take your personality serious, your pathfinders and everyone in your ministry will take you serious. The next thing is patience. It is very, very important. Remember, you are dealing with children from the ages of 10 to 15 years. These are pathfinders. They are young children who like to play around. They are young children who want to be adventurous. They want to move around. Some instructors even handle adventures from the ages of 4 all the way to 9. So young. So if you are not patient, my brother, my sister, I tell you, you cannot handle pathfinders and adventurers. Be patient. On the square, when you are correcting, correct the problem, not the personality. When you are solving a problem, solve it according to how it happened. The problem is what you handle, not the person who caused the problem. It is very, very important. Be patient with your pathfinders. Then you have to be humble. Patience and humility are twins. You don't leave one behind. You need to be humble. Humble yourself. Let the pathfinders know that you are somebody who is the go-to person, that whenever they are in problems or they are in any challenge or they are in trouble, you are the first go-to person they can come to. Come down to their level. Understand them. Like our administrative manual says, you need to understand your pathfinders. In every situation that they are in, you need to let them know that you've gone through that before. And so you know what they are doing. You understand them. When they are even misbehaving, use some things that have happened before as an example to tell them that all these things that you are doing has been done before, and the results were not good. And so the advice is that just humble yourself, calm down, learn from us, because we have tread or trod that path before. Then they will come to you always. The next thing is enthusiasm. You need to be enthusiastic. That is why I said that don't let the pathfinders see your personality as a joke. But enthusiasm is very important. You need to motivate your pathfinders. You need to invite them the morale of draw. When they are coming, they know that yes, we are coming to a square where there is fun. We are going to learn draw, but in a fun way. Our instructor is the motivating type. You make a mistake, he will even encourage you that though it's a mistake, if you do it this way, you get it right, and then you are motivated to move on. Remember, our pathfinders do not like being shouted on every time. And so when they make the mistake, though you are correcting them, even if you shout at that pathfinder, draw the pathfinder close, motivate the pathfinder, encourage the pathfinder, let the pathfinder understand that it's part of the system. Sometimes we need to direct you to a standard or a path so that you don't make a mistake. So shouting at you is not insulting you, or it doesn't mean I don't like you. I want you to come to the right path. And then the pathfinder will have that love from you. It is very, very important as an instructor to have that motivation, that enthusiasm. It's very important. Then you should be consistent in your time, consistent in your draw, consistent in your teaching. Very, very important. When we are meeting at 3, we are there, we start. When we start, the way you are teaching, going through the processes, letting them understand how it is done, that is how it should be. Consistency is very important. It is not that we meet today, then we stop about a month's time, we come and meet, then we stop about a month's time, then we no. You say something today, then the next day you are saying something else. No. You need to equip yourself so that whenever you get to the square, there is consistency in what you are doing. Always consistent in what you do. Teach with one style. Teach with one standard and let them understand that this is how it is done. And they'll always come to believe in you and whatever you do. Remember, in drill, there are do's and don'ts. It is not everything that you do as a drill instructor. Certain times, certain things you do will not be accepted. Anytime, whether you are going for drill and you are going to teach a particular lesson, or it is a drill ceremony you are going to do, where you will need to dress up and go on square or on the parade grounds to do a ceremony, you need to take your time to plan that ceremony, that drill, that training you are going to plan. What am I going to teach first? What am I going to teach next? How will I say it? And everything you do, plan it. Put it on paper or on anything you will remember. Let it follow the order you want to do it. And then it will help you to impact. Because if you don't plan, you stand there, anything that comes into memory, then you start talking about it. You will not be consistent. Anytime you are teaching drill, do not use any bad language. Don't be insulting them. Don't be saying bad things about them or their parents or anything. Always follow what you are giving them. The next don't is that never exaggerate any movement. When you are doing any movement to the Pathfinders or you are demonstrating, do it exactly how you've been taught. You need to understand that there are regulations, there are standards to our drill. And so if you exaggerate the movement, it goes beyond the standard. The way you shout and you prolong certain words more than the standard pace is supposed to go. No. And you start biting some of the words, nobody hears, and somebody says, just like, move to the left in first, left 10. Then somebody says, squad, move the little trees, squad, left. If you give this command, how would the Pathfinders understand? And it's like you are just giving something to represent something. No, there are standards. Do not exaggerate any movement or any command. It is very, very important. Don't use drill as a punishment or use it as a power or authority to lord over the Pathfinders. No, it is not going to help. So don't elevate yourself about the Pathfinders. Let them understand you are all humans. The only advantage is that you rise through the ranks and now you're a master guide, you are an instructor, and you are training them. That is the only difference. But it doesn't mean that you are more human than they are. Don't introduce any hierarchical structure that is not part of the ministry. In some clubs, I know drill teams have ranks that are not part of our system. Do not bring militarism into our drill, where people are giving ranks like QSM, some people are giving ranks like Provo, and other things. No, in the ministry, our officers are very simple. On the square, we have our commander. If we are doing a general parade, we will have our contingent commanders, we have our 2IC and our adjutants, we have our CWO, who will be at the rear guiding the drill that we are doing. And then we are done. But if you are bringing in other names and other positions that are, they shouldn't be part of what we do. Give the positions or the ranks or the appointments according to what is required in our draw manual. It is very, very important. So remember, this is the drill general. If you are liking everything that we are learning, if it is touching you and you understand that this is what is going to help us to equip ourselves as instructors to go in front of the Pathfinders, to like, subscribe, share your comments, share your thoughts. How do you want us to handle our lessons? Advise us. Let us build the channel so that you love it the more. Also, any question that you have, put it in the comment section. It is very, very important. Just put the question there. It will be treated for you. This is the Drill General. I love to see you again in the next session. See you.